Good morning. Welcome to the class of history. We will be discussing the Vedic period, which is chapter 2. This is the part 8 of the series of videos. You can open page number 86. So we will be discussing two main topics: the impact of Aryan civilization and the comparative study of the early and the later Vedic ages. This will be the main focus of our discussion in this very video. So let's start with the impact of Aryan civilization. The Aryans have left great impact. They gave India Sanskrit language. Aryans were those who gave India Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language have been gifted to India by the Aryans. Its grammar, phonetics and derivations. Sanskrit remained the unifying force of the subcontinent for centuries together. It also served as a number of many vernacular as a mother of many vernacular and regional language. So Sanskrit is as a gift of Aryans to the local people, and it remained as a unifying force for the region, and it acted as a mother for the vernacular language and the regional language. What do you understand by the word vernacular? Vernacular means local. Vernacular means local. Just for example, the vernacular language of Darbhanga is Maithili, and the vernacular language of Chhapra is Bhojpuri. The vernacular language of Ara is also Bhojpuri. So the Sanskrit acted as a mother of the vernacular language of the area, right? The Aryans cleared the forest and gave an agrarian base to Indian economy, which remains so till today. Means the Aryans give Indian territory an agrarian base by clearing the forest. It was the Aryans community who cleared the forest for the first time for the purpose of agriculture. The philosophy of Vedas, Upanishads and the ideals set forth by the two epics Ramayana and Mahabharata are the foundation of present-day Hindu religion and life. The gods of the latter Vedic period like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Rama and Krishna are worshipped till today. Yagnas are performed in Hindu ceremonies. The teaching of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita continues to inspire people with its philosophy and selfless action. The latter Vedic period, with its latter Vedic literature and the value system contained in it, has left a great impact on present-day life and society. Means the Hindu religion has a great impact by the literature that is contained in the two great epics, that is Ramayana and Mahabharata. Even Hindu religion has been affected means have a great impact of these two epics, that is Ramayana and Mahabharata, and the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita even inspires the people of Hindu religion, and it is relevant even today. It is being found that the people still have faith in those philosophies and doctrines that are contained in Bhagavad Gita, right? So these are the changes that have been brought by the Aryans after they came to India, and this was the impact of Aryans coming to India. The value system that is brought by Aryans by the Ramayana and Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita had a great impact on the Indian people, right? Now let us come to the second point, the comparative study of early and later Vedic period. This has been grouped into two different charts. So this has been divided into four topics, like social life, political life, economic life and religious life. On four parameters, the comparative study of the early and later Vedic age has been done. That is social, political, economic and religious life. So as far as social life is concerned, women were treated as being equal with men in early Vedic age, whereas in later Vedic age, women assumed a subordinate position. This was the change from early Vedic age to the later Vedic age. The fourfold varnas, where in the early Vedic age, many other caste group appeared and Sudras denied freedom in the later Vedic age. Caste system was not rigid in early Vedic age. Caste system became rigid in later Vedic age. This was the social life, the difference between social life in early Vedic age and later Vedic age. So you have studied 3 points in the social life, the difference between early Vedic age and later Vedic age. So let me write the points so it will become more clear to you. Social life, political, economic and religion. These are the basic topics on which the early Vedic age and later Vedic age have been differentiated. The first topic has been discussed, and the second topic is to be discussed just now. That is the political life. The king was assisted by few officers in the early Vedic age. In the early Vedic age, this point has been discussed. This is going on. Political life. The king was assisted by few officers. In early Vedic age, the king was assisted by few officers, whereas in the later Vedic age, emerging of large kingdoms and elaborate administrative machinery. The administrative machinery has become wide and the administration was enlarged. Sabha and Samiti were effective checks on the king's authority. Sabha was converted into king's court. Means the Sabha and Samiti was the important institutions in the early Vedic age, while the court became the important institution in the later Vedic age. Third, the king received money mainly through land revenue. In the early Vedic age, land revenue was the main source of income of the king, but many other taxes were levied in the later Vedic age. This was the political life that was being differentiated between early Vedic age and the later Vedic age. Third is economic life. Agriculture and domestication of animals were the main economic activity of the early Vedic age, whereas they produced many crops as wheat, millet and sugarcane in the later Vedic age. Crops was diversified in the later Vedic period. Crafts included making weapons, implements and ornaments in early Vedic period. Crafts such as leather working, making of jewelry, chariot making developed use of iron in a large quantities. Means the iron was being used in large quantities in the later Vedic period. This is one of the most important economic differences between the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period. Trade in cloth and leather goods were common in early Vedic period. Coins and better transport facility led to growth in trade. Coins became a medium of exchange in the later Vedic period, as in early Vedic period we have barter system, and in the later Vedic period we have money, means coin, as a medium of exchange. So the trade developed tremendously in the later Vedic period. So this is the difference between early Vedic period and later Vedic period. This is the economic point. Now the last point of difference between the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period is the religious point of view. They worship number of nature gods such as Varuna, Surya and Indra. In early Vedic age, nature worship was prevalent, whereas in later Vedic period, worship many new gods such as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Rama and Krishna. In spite of nature worship, the later Vedic period there was shift towards Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh and Rama and Krishna. Sacrifice and yagnas were performed. Rituals became more complicated, belief and spells and charms. Whereas sacrifice was done in the early Vedic period, on the other hand in the later Vedic period rituals became more common. And the last point, no hereditary priestly class. Whereas philosophy of Upanishads and principle of karma and moksha developed. In the early Vedic period, priestly class were not hereditary. What do you mean by hereditary? By hereditary we mean that the son of a priest does not become the priest in the next generation. The next generation of a priest does not become a son, does not become a priest if he does not have the qualities, the qualification of a priest. This is called the hereditary succession. So there was no hereditary priestly class. अगर कोई पंडित होता था, कोई ज्ञानी पुरुष होता था जो पूजा पाठ कराता था, अगर वो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं होता था, ज्ञानी पुरुष नहीं होता था, वेद और उपनिषद नहीं जानता था, तो केवल अपने पिता की संतान होने के नाते वो क्या कहते हैं कि प्रीस्ट नहीं बन सकता था, पुजारी नहीं बन सकता था. तो priestly class was not hereditary in early Vedic period, whereas in later Vedic period philosophy of Upanishad, principle of karma and moksha developed. कर्म और मोक्ष का सिद्धांत later Vedic period में develop हो गया. This was the religious course and the last point. By this way your chapter is complete. So we have 8 videos in the second chapter. You can see all the 8 videos, and if you have any problem you can contact me by phone. So as you know, history is based on facts, and facts are to be read out and explained. So there is no scope for concept. Concept has already discussed in political science and economics. So see the video of political science and economics and try to read the book as many times as possible and see the video. If you have any problem, I am there for you. You can contact me anytime. Okay, take care and